Welcome to another episode of Shoot the Breeze. Today I have with me our newest team member, Isaac. Isaac, welcome.
Thank you very much.
You've been with us for 5 weeks now.
I have. It's felt like longer, hasn't it?
It certainly has. It's been a pretty active 5 weeks, which is awesome. Mate, a little bit about yourself. I'd love for people to know a little bit about you.
Sure. So I'm from New Zealand originally, born and raised. I moved here just over a month ago now. My partner was from Sydney, so we actually met in New Zealand when she was over there. Came over here for Christmas to spend it with her family. Then I'm like, hey, you know what? I've got nothing tying me to New Zealand. Let's, see what the work opportunities are. And then I caught up with you last time, and we, started this relationship, and then it's gone from there. So I've moved over here, living here full time now. Been working in media for around 3 years now. Yeah. So
What's your specialty? Do you see so far?
I do a lot more video work, and I'm very passionate about the narrative and storytelling and interviews. So I know we'll talk about the project that we did recently, but I really enjoy those sorts of projects, getting to tell people's story through the visuals that we can create.
I love that, and that's probably something that we aligned pretty much when we first met.
Yeah, definitely.
Video is one thing, content's one thing, but the storyline, I think, is what hooks everyone.
It is.
And what do you shoot with?
So I'm on a Sony Ep.4. I've been Sony for pretty much as soon as I started taking it seriously, and I haven't looked back. I got recommended by one friend, and it's great. I love Sony.
Well, you never, mate. You won't look back. Sony's the way. Even though a few friends will probably
Sony
have
beats
shit
everything.
to talk about. What's that?
I said Sony beats everything.
It certainly does. Mate, video, the power of video. We had recently done a project
Yes.
about brand awareness, about getting agents to talk a little bit about themselves, not in, as a popular real estate influencer says, commission breath, but in a way where it's more personable, and to be able to get a message across of who they are as a person before they are whatever position they hold. Tell me a little bit about that experience, and I guess because you're new to the real estate game.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell me what you took away from that experience, just getting to know, like we said, about that storyline.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was quite cool. I've done interviews before. I used to work in the combat sports scene in New Zealand, so MMA, boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, all of those things. We had a big live production that we did, and we did a whole bunch of content in promo. So we go out to the gyms and do interviews with each fighter that was fighting on the card, ask them about their background, what they're trying to learn from this fight, what they learned from their last fight, and get to tell their story and get some training footage and make these really cool videos. And I love doing that because these guys were really cool to work with as well. They weren't always the most comfortable speakers. They're fighters at the end of the day. They're not media personnel. But and then bring that into the real estate world was really cool because it's a very different switch. MMA fighter and a real estate agent are vastly different. So it's really cool to actually tell that, because I think a lot of people look at real estate agents all the same. Just trying to sell me something. So when you actually get to tell that story of, who is this person? Where'd they grow up? Why should I trust them? Oh, they went to the same school as, I don't know, my sibling or, my friend, they played at the same football club that I did. They're from the area. I get to actually see their values, why they do what they do. And I think that's really cool to be able to showcase, because it's very important, with the way that personal brands are going, being able to trust someone and know who someone is.
Let's talk about that, because we have had that conversation many times around personal branding. And although you have a lot of agents that work under an agency, it really is important to separate yourself as an agent within that company. So we're finding that a lot of agents now are taking that extra step in investing in themselves and their personal brand, because ultimately when someone sells you a property or helps you buy a property, it's not the company that's buying it or selling it for you, it's that person. So it's really important to be able to separate yourself from the company and have your own identity within the company. So there are the real estate platforms at the moment are actually pushing that as well. So I know realestate.com, they used to have a profile photo of the agent. Now it's a profile video.
That's cool.
So in the last 4 to 6 weeks, we've had a massive amount of inquiry around creating those 45-second videos. Some agents want to boast about, I guess, their success and their results, but others are taking, which I personally love, that approach of like, hey, get to know me. And I think that's going to go a long way.
Yep.
as you said, and you nailed it when you said, what school you went to, or you play golf at this place, or you're involved in this RSL club, or whatever it may be, soccer team, footy team.
Yeah.
It's that little connection point that can make someone reach out to you and go, hey, I saw your video. I didn't realize you went to the same school, or whatever else the example is. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, a lot of people, they'll go to an open home or they'll meet with a real estate agent, and it's just a business interaction. But, if they have now, they might not say, oh, I saw your video as soon as they catch up with them. But, as they're walking through their house, for example, they might go, oh, you went to the same school. You went to that school. That's the same. Oh, yeah, I know that friend that went there. And, it makes that connection. And it's already it's going to do that for you. And it is very important. I like how you were saying how they do the videos now. Like, it's very important because, everyone has a photo, but no one has those videos. And personal brands are so crucial now if you actually want to separate yourself and have your own identity. And you're right as well, within the company, they need to separate themselves. So that's why you see a lot of real estate agents doing their own listing videos now, where it's a talking head, walk through all the fancy effects, and it makes it that's their property, not the real estate firm's property.
Yeah.
And it really separates that.
And I think that'll separate the successful agencies from the ones who want to stick to not allowing their employees to grow or to have any kind of identity themselves. I'm hearing that a lot throughout the industry, and I think that's going to be a refreshing change to almost have a business within the business. Okay. And I used to be involved in real estate, as in working in real estate, and everyone wins. If the sales agent or whoever it is, the agent is making sales, making money, so is the agency. So it's a win-win all around.
Yeah.
Going back to personal branding, the level of authenticity around the videos. You touched on that. Yes, you can have a video saying, welcome to this property, and say nothing else. But if you just have, like you said, and we're doing a lot more of, dynamic text and not necessarily just sticking to that standard template of real estate, wide shots, drone shots, but creating even AI scenes.
Yeah.
And that's another topic that I wanted to talk to you about, was just AI and the power of it. And you mentioned something off camera, which I love, and I don't know if you remember it.
I do.
You do? All right. The golden nugget quote. I love it. I should have written it down.
So you got to ask the question first. You got to phrase it.
So how do you feel about AI?
I think AI is a great tool, and you use it where you can, but you don't use it to replace parts that make you a creative, personable brand.
There you go. Write that one down. That is the golden nugget.
I don't have a pen and paper, but I will.
It's all right. We're going to use that as a little snippet reel. I love what you said, because a lot of people are asking us things like, oh, don't worry, I can do that on ChatGPT. I can. Everyone's becoming a creator by using AI, but it loses its essence, and the creativeness is really, it's been watered down, and people are just putting something up, nice, short, sharp. I'm seeing it with virtual furniture. They're like, don't worry, I'll get ChatGPT to do it. Great. But did you notice that they've changed the light fitting, they've changed the window coverings, they've changed the floor color and things like that. So
that's another thing, is knowing how to use it if you are going to use it, because it's not at a point yet where it can, take what you say and do exactly that. It has changes and it has things. So if you know how to use it and you can use it to do that, great, awesome. Why not save yourself time?
And it is evolving. It will get better and better. We use it with our videos, creating AI scenes where people can visualize themselves walking into this property, seeing it day and night, rather than going and shooting it at night, which is also another cost-effective method for videos. But also having that feeling of seeing that family playing in the backyard, jumping in the pool, eating at the dinner table, playing in the lounge room, cooking in the kitchen, whatever it may be. We might actually put up some snippets so people can get a visual of this, whoever's watching it on YouTube. But yeah, AI, there's a lot to talk about, but really it's keeping it simple. Horses for courses, as they say. I want to touch something else on personal branding. What do you think, given that you've just come into the real estate scene, what would you say is something that will appeal to you for seeing an agent present a video? What is something that will stand out to you?
Look, I mean, one of I believe it's Gary Vee's quote. He said, content creating is easy. You need to just document. But, real estate agents should be, on their story, on their page, posting a video of, oh, this is, a day in the life, or this is what I'm doing today. This is how I work with my client, all the steps of the process, so that when someone goes on their page, it's not just listing. This is my achievement. This is my achievement. It's actually cool. I get to see this person. I get to see, maybe they've posted some golf photos. I like golf. I can relate to them more now. I get to see their process and how they have worked and work with someone. So I can, put myself in the shoes, and be like, oh, that seems like a seamless process. I'd like to work with them. So
Yeah, I love that.
it is. It's very, a lot of people overcomplicate content creation now and think, oh, I need to, think so hard about these ideas. But it's like, you really don't. You can just document your life, and it's a piece of content. And there is a certain line. It's like, you don't want to post something if it's completely pointless. And it also depends on what they want their brand to be and how they want themselves to be presented. But it's very crucial now. I think everyone who isn't doing that is going to fall behind.
You hit a good point there about creating it sort of in alignment to who they are, and not trying to create this persona. Obviously, social media is smoke and mirrors. People perceive themselves to be different on social media. But if you're running a business, whether it's real estate or whether it's any small business, your authenticity is key to, it's one thing having followers and another thing having customers. And I feel that line is blurred when people are posting trends videos, TikTok and stuff like that, because it's in at the time. But trends equal followers.
Exactly.
But if you're authentic and your videos are true to you, that I believe that converts to customers.
Like, one thing I could say is you could follow a trend. You might get 50,000 views, and not a single person will be qualified to be a buyer because they're seeing it from a view like a trend purpose. Or you do another video that gets 1,000 views, and you'd have one solid buyer because it's an authentic thing. And that's what you're saying about following trends. Like, sure, if your goal is to get attention, get views, build an online profile, great. Follow trends occasionally if you want to. Make sure it's aligned with your brand. But ultimately, if you want to last and you want to actually stand out, you need to figure out your brand identity, your content pillars, stick to that and keep doing it, because eventually you will, you'll be that sort of, I guess, black sheep, and people will see that brand and go, oh, this one stands out because they don't do what everyone else is doing. I like them because I see how their process works, and I can relate to them. I can go onto their page and go, oh yeah, I feel like I know these guys, rather than someone who's just chasing trends. You don't get to know them through that. You just go, oh, they can create trends. Sure, it's funny, but I don't feel connected to them.
I find also some people copy something that works for one person to feel like it's going to be successful for them. There's one particular phrase in the real estate world, and it was dubbed by an agent in the eastern suburbs. Every video he would say, welcome home. That was his slogan. And he became popular with that. And then every other agent started using that same phrase. And every time I've shot a video, the first thing I say when they start talking and they say that line, I'm like, no. It works for him. Don't copy. Create your own. Yep. And, that's what we're there for. That's something that AI can't replicate. We're there to go, hey, that you don't have to be like that. Why don't you try this? Why don't you say this? Why don't you create your own line that you can use? And we've actually helped a lot of agents create that and come up with their own little spill. And it's working. And it's repetition. They might say it sounds silly now, or that doesn't sound. If it sounds like you, great. But if it's,
any slogan or brand name didn't sound right when it first started. It was just a name till it wasn't.
Yeah. And when he first started saying it, I'm sure he wasn't as successful as he is now. So now it means something, whereas maybe earlier on it was just his line that meant something to him and nothing else. So I think the only advice I'd give in that in that field is just say your path and stick to something, and you might not see the results straight away, but they do come.
And it also depends on what your goal is. Like I was saying, if you want to build attention in a massive online thing, cool, great, follow trends, do that stuff that is going to get more views. If that's your goal, awesome. But if you want to use your social media as a platform to build real connection and actually get leads, then you need to be authentic. But there is a balance. Like even myself, I haven't like copied a trend, but I've seen a format and gone, that's a cool piece of content. I feel like I align with that, so I'm going to recreate that and put my flair on it. And it works. I got quite a lot of views from
That's
that.
it.
And it doesn't feel like I'm just copying something else because I see it and go, yeah, I like that. That's a piece of content that I would like to make because I feel that that's me.
For sure, for sure. Speaking of content, and you said creating content every day. I'm wearing the Meta glasses now.
Yep.
I have seen in the posts that we've made recently of, just the behind the scenes, that's actually getting a lot more traction than a video of a $5 million home that we've done, which is crazy. It took a lot for me to actually understand that logic, but it is that people connect with people. So seeing that behind the scenes, like we're shooting more and more of it, it's fun. And I got to say, it's entertaining. And I've actually started following other people that are shooting with, vlogs and a day in a life and BTS.
Yeah.
What do you feel about that now?
I mean, I think I've said this before. One of the quotes that I've heard in 2026 is, "Don't post your work, post you working," and it is very true. In the creative industry, that's where it's going. It's all good and well posting your your best piece of work, which is great. Brands will go on your page and they'll see that. Awesome. Best foot forward. But the way it is now is brands don't have massive budgets. They don't want to splash out on something that, cool, we can see you can make this piece of content, but we don't actually know you've made that. You could have got someone else to do it. Whereas if you have on your page videos of you filming it, your process, they can now connect with you and go, oh, that's awesome. I like this guy's philosophy and how he works, how he shoots, how he delegates, how he does this stuff. And even before reaching out to you, they've built up this connection in their head like they know you.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, right? Introducing yourself without that person in front of you.
Yeah.
Getting back into the real estate media, the last couple of months was pretty quiet for us, February, March in particular. And we, there's obviously a lot of external issues and factors to play into, but we've noticed now there's a lot of people that are jumping into reinvesting into their marketing rather than just saying it's quiet now. Let's just pull back. Let's not put out content. Everyone's got that level of uncertainty, and there are some people, and I would probably say the movers and shakers are the ones who are doubling down on their content now, rather than saying, all right, let's play conservative, let's remove that cost and just not post anything or not share any valuable content while this time is quiet, and we'll wait for us to pick up again. And I've got to say, the people that are on more often, and let's be honest, you have more time now to create content. You've got more time to give value. And I say this to everyone, but when you're putting out content, you need to create value without an expectation, without expecting something in return. And if you keep doing that, generally speaking, when things do turn and things get better, you're top of mind. So there's a lot of people that are very quiet now because they want to keep costs down. But like you said earlier, content can be made. Go buy yourself a pair of glasses. Everyone's got a phone. Jump on, talk about what's going on for you. And I try and push our clients to just speak the truth rather than just speak what the media is saying. The media generally is reporting things that have happened in the past, not what's happening right now. And these agents are on the ground. So I try and encourage them as much as we can to speak the truth. Hey, things are quiet now. If you're in this market, this is for you. If you're not, maybe hold off and just speak the truth. And I think a lot of people are afraid to do that. But what do you think now? Right now, things are slowly moving up, but in the content field and in the content world, agents, what should they be putting out now, do you think, that's going to make a big difference when the market turns?
I think it's one of those things, spend a little to make a lot. Like you were saying, the smart ones are doubling down, and they should. It's in a time where people don't have as much capital to be dumping into it, and the ones that don't want to, they're just going to sit back and go, oh, I don't want to do that, I don't want to spend anything. Therefore, they're not going to gain anything. They might not, they won't lose any money by having to spend it, but they're also going to get nothing. Whereas the smart ones will hopefully already have, a sort of budget for that stuff, and they will go, cool, we're quiet, let's do this, because this will not only keep us busy, but generate more, whether it's income, sales, whatever their sort of goal is with that, and whichever direction they decide to take it. So you've got that to it. And I think like we were talking about, the personal brand stuff, profile videos, getting to introduce yourself, getting on with their phone, making their own content on their page. Free. You don't have to pay anything. And that's one thing that I've heard lots of people saying recently is, the social media is such a powerful tool because you can have an account that has 10 followers and you could get millions of views on a video. You don't need hundreds and thousands of followers to get that sort of reach. Sure, it's more likely when you have a larger audience, but if you stay consistent, it's a guarantee that you will start to build that up and, have occasional videos that will get that reach. And it's, maybe an hour out of each day that, you film a few videos, post something. And yeah, it's so simple and accessible now.
And obviously, everything is now portrait. Everything, even the videos now, even our real estate videos are all portrait. What's that?
Unfortunately. I love landscape, but portrait's the way it's going.
Look, I still have a soft spot for landscape videos. I just feel like it's so more expansive. It's just feels more grand. You see more in the frame.
Yeah.
And I used to say, look, unless TVs get mounted vertically on a wall, landscape's the way to go. But now all platforms are accepting portrait video, even the real estate ones.
Yeah.
Because they used to be against it. They were like, sorry, landscape. So we used to create a landscape video and then a portrait video. Now they're like, yeah, we'll take portrait video, even portrait photos, which was so like taboo.
Yeah.
Now they're even accepting that. So times have changed. What would you say is, the best? Have you heard the quote? The best camera you can have is the one that's on you.
I haven't, but it makes sense.
Yeah. So with phones, there's so much you can do. And then, like you said, keep it very simple.
Yep.
Keep it honest. Keep it valuable. You need to give value without trying to sell something all the time.
People love to overcomplicate what content creation is, and it's because there's so much around it on social media. Oh, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this, make sure you're doing this. Oh, make sure you don't do this. Here's the 3 best things. There's so much, and it feels like such an overwhelming amount of information of what to do, what not to do when you're content creating. So a lot of people will just, procrastinate that and put it off and never actually do it because, I don't want to get it wrong. There is no right or wrong. It's your brand. That no one can tell you how to post. Sure, they can give you tips and, make sure you structure your video hook and then so and so. All great tips. It's up to you whether you want to do that or not. Like at the end of the day, if you have a structure that you want to follow and a story that you want to put it out there and it will find the right people and you will eventually reach your target audience. So, even, people say it's not about the gear. You don't need the gear. I can't say that because I spent a lot of money on camera gear and I'm glad I did because I love it. But at the end of the day, I was playing around with the iPhone the other day in log footage and I was blown away.
Yeah,
what it can do once, of course, you kind of need to know how to color grade, but even without log footage, it still looks great. When you're doing social media, a 4K camera video versus an iPhone video for a simple talking head doesn't matter. If you're doing, the property videos and the walkthrough and stuff, then obviously you do need a camera. But for 90% of the stuff that's going on your feed and your personal brand, it can be done with a phone. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're so right there. You're so right there. And look, on that, what you just said now, I have been a victim of overcomplicating and sometimes getting through that scroll doom where you're just scrolling and you're seeing everything else. And, I've heard this quote before, but competition and comparison is a joy thief. How many times have you been online and you're scrolling through and you're seeing all these other content and you're like, shit, and you question yourself and you're like, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? You need to remove yourself from that.
It is. That's the dangerous side of social media.
It is. And I still play victim to that sometimes.
Everyone
You're sitting on the couch, you're like, I'm just going to see what's out there. And you're like, oh, shit, I could have done that. I should have done that. Oh, I could have done this. That looks better than what I've done. And it's a mindset shift, right? It's a, hey, you know what? Awesome. That has fueled me now to get out there and do better and be better.
You need to approach it from I should have done this or I should do this better too. Oh, that's cool. I like how they're doing it. Maybe I can implicate what they're doing as well to, improve on my own craft. And it is hard. There's so much nowadays of all these people going, make sure you don't do this, or if you're not doing this, you're not doing it right, and X is going to happen. So and that's what I was saying, it makes it feel so overwhelming, and that's why so many people put off doing it, because they feel that there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, but there's really not.
Yeah, it is a psychological game, and yeah, I think we all play into that.
100%.
And yeah, the key is, like I said earlier, just to stay on your path.
Yep.
And you do you. That's a simple phrase. You do you.
Yep. Stay in your own lane. Create what you want to create, and then don't let anyone else tell you otherwise.
Yeah. And your biggest competition is you yesterday. I love to live by that, even though sometimes you, like I said, you play victim to that. Other, other content that's out there. But as long as you're doing better than what you did yesterday, then obviously that is growth, and that's one little step each day.
1% better every day.
Absolutely,
that's what I want to get.
1% better every day. You better believe it. Cool. Well, look, we'll wrap it up.
Yep.
We'll be doing this every month or so, talking about what's happening in our industry and what we're seeing out there. Hopefully, that gives some value to anyone that's listening to this. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
All the way from your desk.
Yes.
And welcome aboard once again. And we look forward to creating some pretty awesome stuff that we have planned for the future.
Me too.
Awesome.